I recognize the challenges of this campaign, and I recognize the demands of this office that I seek. But in this endeavor, as in all things, I find comfort in the ancient command: be strong and courageous. Do not tremble or be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go.
I got to tell you, I liked Marco Rubio's address yesterday, his announcement, and I'm glad he said that. I'm glad he mentioned God and faith. And you know, when he speaks, as so many others on the Republican side, you sense sincerity, as opposed to what you get from Hillary. Joining us now is Mark Tapscott, executive editor of the Washington Examiner. Hello, sir.
Howdy. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. So what did you think? What was your take on Rubio's announcement?
Well, I was especially impressed that he cited Joshua 1:9, because that's where Joshua was getting ready to lead the Israelites into the Promised Land and conquer it. And that's an indication of real confidence, I suspect, on Rubio's part.
Yeah, and very apropos with this whole Iran scandal, if you want to expand it to that aspect as well. But what about the framing of this as the future versus the past?
I think that is brilliant, and I'll tell you why. I think it was a perfect contrast to have Hillary with her manufactured sincerity on Sunday, and then to have Rubio come on Monday and say, basically we have a choice between the past and the future, and we can make this future something really great. And I heard Ronald Reagan when he said that. Ronald Reagan was the last president that really could persuasively speak about what America could be and what it could achieve, and do that credibly. And I sort of heard some of that in what Rubio was saying Monday.
And where do you stand? In other words, when Cruz spoke, I thought he did a good job. When Paul spoke, I waited. But it seems like as one by one they announced, we're going to be focusing on the latest one and maybe lose sight and focus on the previous one. So of the three so far, I mean, of course, I can't say who do you think's ahead, because that's the question. But who had the best opening day, if you will?
Oh, I think Rubio for sure. 6 months from now, we'll all be saying, what were they talking about on their opening days? But it does make a difference, because if you get off to a good start, you really have the advantage out in the grassroots with beginning an enthusiasm among your troops that, of course, you hope to be able to sustain. But that's a good way to start it.
Yeah, no, absolutely is. All right, let's look at the flip side here, and let's look at Hillary. Before we get to a piece that was out in the Washington Examiner about I guess a guide of the Clinton scandals from Travelgate to the Emailgate. To me it just reeks of insincerity what she's doing. Who is she fooling? Who is she? She might be pleasing the people who would vote for her anyway, but who thinks that Hillary Clinton wants to go out and sit in front of people and hear what they have to say and is going to listen and care? I just don't get it.
I think you put your finger right on her biggest problem. Just before I came over here to the studio, I happened to see an announcement from GPS Crossroads about their latest survey. And I have to admit, I was even surprised by the intensity of interest in their survey was in the battleground states.
Right.
A tremendous intensity of awareness of her credibility problem and the history of scandal that goes with the Clinton name. And I'm frankly very, very skeptical that she's going to be able to overcome that.
Yeah, Mark, the first question at her first event, which took place within the hour, she's complaining that CEOs make too much money. I mean, here's a woman who makes $300,000 a speech in the Clinton Foundation, and how does she sell that with a straight face?
I just wonder how many of those CEOs are now saying, "Well, I wish I hadn't given you so much money." All
right, what about the past? And the past scandals, and I think there are some, like her representation and affiliation with the Black Panthers, the sex offender. I think if people knew about that stuff would resonate. I don't know how much Travelgate and those things will resonate. What's your take?
Well, I'll tell you, we in the Washington Examiner, we just published, I believe last Thursday, about not quite a week ago. We call it a brief guide to the Clinton scandal.
I have it in my hand. Yeah.
Yeah. from Travelgate to Emailgate. And, you know, I expected that would get a moderate amount of traffic and then it would be gone. But just before I came over here again today, the folks told me, the social media folks told me that that thing is still, that post is still drawing. It's one of the 3 or 4 most read posts on our website. And it's been that way for a week.
Remember John Wong and Charlie Tree? It's all in there, folks. You can check the you can check WashingtonExaminer.com. A brief guide to the Clinton scandals from Travelgate to Emailgate. Mark, great talking to you, sir.
Absolutely, anytime.
Take care. All right, we're coming back, folks. Don't go away.